Yo, what is going on, homies? It's your boy StumpD back for the OPTC video, and in today's video, we're diving into the big one, the crux of what everyone's been waiting for, right before you summon, if you're summoning on Anniversary, whether it be Part 1, Part 2, Part 3, whether you're waiting for more parts of the Anniversary, and that is the Rare Recruit tier list. So, in today's video, we're going to be breaking down all of the Rare Recruits and putting them on a tier list, sort of. So, if you guys didn't know, I've already done stuff like this in the past, and I'll leave a link in the description for you guys to check out the last tier list if you guys want a more in-depth analysis, but I actually already have the outline of last time's tier list, and we're just going to add on the characters that we're missing from there. We're also going to make some changes, so we are going to go through the tiers, talk about some characters, why they're so good and why they're there, and then sort of adjust characters if need be, with the premise of the content that we actually have. Now, I do understand the argument of what Stump, like, characters are good for when the content comes out, and that's it. Well, for new players, there's a lot more content in the game that they haven't touched, and hopefully this tier list and this video helps you guys out with what characters to level up, and what characters to just send to Rayleigh's Bazaar. I do want to preface, though, I would highly recommend keeping one of every single character, if you can, but nowadays, box space, Rayleigh points, all of that stuff is so valuable that there are going to be a lot of characters that you just want to get rid of, that you just want to say goodbye to and actually build up those Rayleigh points, as well as save that box space as well. So, with that said, we're going to take a look at the tier list, we're going to take a look at what characters need to go on the tier list. If you enjoy this kind of video, belt the like button for me, hit the subscribe button, do all that good stuff. If I have missed over or you disagree with something, let me know in the comment section below, and we'll definitely look into that as well. With that said, let's take a look at the tier list, and let's dive in. Alright, so something that I want to touch on before we continue as well is only power up the characters when you actually need them. But, like I said, hopefully this helps you guys out with, like, what you can sort of just send to Rayleigh's Bazaar, and like, kind of what you don't need, just get rid of, you know? Save that box space. As you can see, basically from New Year's is the characters that we haven't included. I think I did include these guys on the tier list last time, but basically from here down, they're going to be the characters that we want to include. So, the first and the bottom tier is Don't Bother. I'm just going to quickly sort of have a scan through here for you guys, so you guys can kind of see what you're like, what's cooking here. And hopefully, like, you guys will get an understanding of what you don't need. So, I'm going to quickly scan. You can pause the video at any time. All of these characters, I would highly recommend just selling to Rayleigh's Bazaar. There hasn't been a use for them, or hasn't been a need for them. But if you are scared about losing these characters, then hang on to just one copy and just feed the dupes in and level them up when you need to. They may be good for Grand Voyage, so that's why I'm hesitant to say, like sell them. But honestly, like, with box space and stuff nowadays, like, I would sell. This Enel actually can come up. He's actually really good as a PvP character, so I'm definitely going to put him in OK, I guess. You can definitely use him in PvP, and me scanning through this as well is another way of me checking to make sure if I sort of missed anything, or if anything was sort of like lost in translation. So remember, with Grand Voyage, some of these characters can be good, so ideally keep one copy of all of them if you can. But if you need to sell characters to give box space, these characters are the ones that you're going to want to sell. So, just sort of have a look at there, pause there if you are selling characters and you see them. As for the next tier up, these are your support characters. I'm going to start at the bottom. Basically, what you want to do with these characters, you want to get them to support level 5 and just let them sit in your box. You're never really going to use them in regular play. However, their supports are super handy. You have stuff like Raizo for 2 turns of paralysis, 2 turns of Bind and Despair with Conjuro, 2 turns of Special Bind, 2 turns of Defense up and Threshold removal, Despair paralysis removal, Bind and Despair on special. You guys kind of get the idea, right? All of these characters have really good support. Gordon, his support removes paralysis. He's a pretty good character as well, but I'm just sort of letting you know what I tend to do with these characters. Same with Raizo, very good character, but, like, their support is where they shine. Kaku can remove attack down. Beppo does Threshold on Perfects. Poison removal with Sanji. You guys get the idea, right? These characters have very good supports, and it's where you're going to see majority of their play, rather than actually using them on multitudes of teams. So like I said, I'm going to quickly just sort of scan through them like this for you guys. If you need to, pause the video and you guys can go from there. As for the next tier up, this is the okay, I guess. Like these guys, they're okay. Like, they're not bad rare recruits. They're just not great rare recruits. They're not good rare recruits. You're probably not going to use them per se. But these are characters that I definitely would hang on to at least one copy of. Because, like, look, they're just okay. As for Grand Voyage being a thing now, there are some characters that I do want to move up into this tier. So, like, this Brook, he's okay, I guess. Cavendish and Bardo, like, you could definitely see some play with them in, like, Grand Voyage. Like, they're okay. They have conditionals, and they work really well with each other. Anyone else do anything super interesting here? Icarus could possibly be Grand Voyage. This Kumar, like, he has utility. So he's okay, I guess. This is just sort of safety net stuff for what's it called, for Grand Voyage, if they ever put these characters into Grand Voyage and you need to use them for something. Oven, he's a 3-turn orb boost that could see some play with the new intimidation debuff. But honestly, like, looking at all these other characters, like, if we go through them all, like, I'm just gonna end up finding an argument for all of them. So, like, we're just gonna leave it at that. As for sort of pausing the video, just hit the pause button here and you guys can sort of see what characters are okay. Like I said, every character should just level up, like, when you get the chance, but some of the characters in the sort of top echelons are going to be characters that you really want to focus on. Moving up, we've got Not Bad, and if you guys want to see, like, a reason why I put these characters there, there will be a link to this video, like the last time's video, in the description below as well. These characters are not bad. Their reasoning for being there is explained in the last video. But a lot of these characters either have, like, good utility, they give good damage output, they help out your teams with sailor abilities and stuff like that, or they are really good speed farming options. These are all characters that I've used for a particular purpose, and that's why they're here. Or they have good limit break pluses as well. Moving on to the next tier, we have, look, these characters, they're just good. They're just, like, good characters. Double Special is prevalent on stuff like Smoothie and Dofi. Limit Break Plus can be very, very handy for stuff like Hold'em and Alvida. And then other characters can remove unique stuff, like Dice can remove barriers and Shipbind with Sunny-kun. Like I said, just because they're just good doesn't mean, like, they're not great. It's just that, you know, they're not, like, the top echelons of what you're going to want to be leveling up. Next, we've got Very Good. Now, this is where we're starting to get into the meat and potatoes of the really good characters for particular reasons. Cracker is amazing for Grand Voyage. That's why he's here. Sengoku has a great level Limit Break. Limit Break Plus. Marco with attack down, blind removal. This is just some examples for you guys of why they're here. Rayleigh, fantastic with color affinity and utility for damage reduction. Threshold. And then you go up to Just Amazing. Now, Just Amazing, the reason I put Just there is because they're not, like, amazing. Like, they're only just amazing. It's probably a better way to say it. Law, Jinbei, Hody, Jozu, Queen, Jack, Croc, Baccarat. Time Skip Nami's probably dropped off a little bit now. Double specials needed on that Kuma. The Perona is just amazing because she's so good for Grand Voyage. And then Kaku putting a Revolution Army 2 Demons. You can pick them up from the rookie tickets. And then that Shinobu Momo is another, like, needed unit for a Grand Voyage as well. So that's why they're just amazing. Moving up to the next tier, we have amazing Limit Break Pluses. These characters, you want a Limit Break Plus to make them, like, super, super good. I don't think these two have Limit Break Pluses, so I'm actually going to bring them both down. Because, honestly, they're just amazing. They haven't really seen too much play since. As for Limit Break Pluses that are very, very good, and characters that you would Limit Break Plus or are in the amazing tier, that Fuji, honestly, I'm going to move this Fuji up. This Fuji's definitely seen way more play than I ever thought he would. He's a fantastic rare recruit. As of late, with that double special, this Perispero has kind of dropped off, so we're going to bring Perispero down. Doesn't mean Perispero is bad, it's just that, like, he's not something that you kind of, like, will, like, go for. The top tier, as you can see, these are the godly characters. They are the best of the best when it comes to rare recruits, and these are the characters that you want to make sure that you level up first. Nowadays, I probably think the Buggies can probably drop down. Viola's great for Grand Voyage level 5. Robin, these two Robins are probably the two best rare recruits in the game. Bobbins and Brooke, they're fantastic. The anniversary characters from last year still hold their own for their absolutely amazing teams. Plus, they have some incredibly good sailors. Special Bind with Zoro, Paralysis Blind Despair with Law. Ignite and Conditional with Akainu plus Bind and Defense Up removal is awesome. Usahachi probably is the most valuable rare recruit in the game because you pick him up with the recruit missions and the tickets there. fantastic rare recruit, and definitely one that you would want to Limit Break Plus if you have him. And all these characters are definitely worth Limit Break Plusing for you endgame players. But for you normal players or mid-game players that only have select keys, just sort of let Limit Break expand these sort of when you need them. Iron is fantastic with her double special. Kuzan is one of my favorite rare recruits in the game. Defense up removal, attack for free spirits, and threshold removal as well. Fantastic support with this unit as well. This Frankie is fantastic for Grand Voyage. He's an absolute demon. He removes like attack down, he removes damage reduction, I'm pretty sure, and he's an attack boost to Scion Int. I'm not going to be able to remember everything about these rare recruits, so I do apologize about that as well. But as I sort of scan down here, hopefully this gives you an idea of what characters you do want to hang on to. If you see some characters here, this is where you really want to pause the video and sort of have a bit of a scan in each tier to make sure that you favorite up these characters if you see them. Like I said at the start of the video, if you can and you have the box space, don't be ever afraid to buy box space too, by the way. You don't want to go too crazy on box space, but like, it's never a bad investment to buy box space. But if you can save one of each of these characters, you definitely want to. Like, saving one of every character is the smartest way to play the game, because if that character ever does become super viable or needed for a particular piece of content, you're not going to be kicking yourself that you sold the character. And I've done it myself. I remember selling Kobe, who had a fantastic support, 3 tons of attack down, removal, and guard. Needed it for a particular piece of content, didn't have it, and kind of stuffed me up for a Grand Voyage for a little while. Found a way around it, but like at the end of the day, it was super annoying at the time. So try and save one of every character if you can. But if you are dying and struggling super, super hard for box space, you can kind of go down here and have a look in the don't bother tier. I'm gonna bring, honestly, I'm gonna bring you back down, and I'm gonna bring, I don't know what I was thinking when I did this. Like, there's a reason they're there. I'm not gonna meddle with that. I'm gonna leave the Kuma there. I think the Kuma is really, really good. But yeah. As for supports, like I said, definitely keep one copy of these characters. Get their support to level 5. You don't even need to level these characters up. Like, you just need to get their support to level 5. Like, that is literally it. And then you just let them sit in your box. Like, that is their goal. They are support rare recruits. That is it. That is it. But like I said, if you are struggling for needing Rayleigh points, or you're struggling for box space or anything like that, then you can sell like any of these characters. Will definitely be not missed from your box. Like, not missed at all. Like, I can't think of any of these characters that will definitely be missed. But if you see something and you think otherwise, let me know in the comment section below, because I'll pin the comment, we'll do all that good stuff, we'll talk about it there, and I'll make it known that there are some good characters there. But there are some characters we need to talk about today. Yes, we have had some new rare recruits since New Year's. We've got a lot of new rare recruits since New Year's, as you can see. The first two are going to be Zoro and Sanji. Both of these characters are phenomenal. They have 2 of like the best sailor abilities in the game. And they both have amazing supports going on quick slashes and Psy fighters. Sanji is a attack booster, I'm pretty sure. And then the Zoro is an orb booster. They both have utility in their kit, so they do really, really fun stuff. And they were just a fantastic addition to a very, very good New Year's batch that we actually got as well. So, the Sanji, I'm quickly just going to pull up here. I did 150 to Sanji because he's so good. He does 5 turns of bind and attack down. He locks slots, and if you have an attack boost, he increases it by 0.3, otherwise giving a 2.25 attack boost to fighters and free spirits. Absolutely insane rare recruit. Disgusting damage output, great utility. They have a sailor ability as well that reduces their special charge anytime a fighter or free spirit uses a special, and they set tandem orbs at the start of the quest. And as mentioned, they go on any Psy fighter to give a 0.1 attack boost whenever they use an attack boost. So very, very good rare recruit there. As for Zoro, he's basically the parallel. He gives 1 turn of cooldown, and I'm pretty sure he does despair removal if I remember correctly. He is the orb booster to Sanji being the attack booster at 2.25 and increases it by 0.3 if you already have one. He also removes burn and does damage to all enemies. His support goes on quick slashes. He adds 0.1 if they use a special. And then his sailor ability, again, gives 1 turn of cooldown if a slasher or free spirit uses a special. And then he has the special reverse as well. These 2 rare recruits are goddamn fantastic. Like, they are so good. And if you pick them up, be very, very happy. Because they are very, very good characters. Like, they are super, super good characters. Super, super good. Like, talking about Zoro Sanjis, actually, these Zoro Sanjis are actually so good as well. Like, They remove this. I think this one removes bind and attack down too, but it's a chain booster. And then this one has what does this Zora do? This Zora removes damage reduction and threshold, if I remember correctly. And then he's a type of color affinity. So some very, very good Zoro and Sanji rare recruits. Fantastic characters and definitely godly placed. Going all the way back down the bottom now, we have Shanks and Buggy that came out alongside Rayleigh Gabon and Prime Whitebeard. Now these characters aren't all that, and it kind of hurts my soul because like Kid Shanks, like come on, we got a Kid Shanks rare recruit. You bet your ass I was excited for that. Kid Shanks is a conditional booster, as well as setting the defense to 0 as long as you hit 3 perfects. He also removes 5 turns of damage reduction and despair, and then he gives 1 turn of cooldown on the top row. Look, he's a good character, but if you can't get that conditional boost off, you are going to struggle with damage output. It's nice that he has the utility for despair and damage reduction and giving cooldowns only for the top row. Like, this character's just good. Like, he's just a good character. Like I said, if you can get the condition off, that's great. But other than that, like the character is not super needed for any piece of content or hasn't been super viable since their release. As for Buggy basically is very interesting and parallel to Shanks. He has a support that goes on Shanks that sets the defense to 50%, so you can actually get the 3 turns, which works absolutely fantastically. But he rotates block, bomb, recovery, G, unfavorable slots to matching types, removes burn, does 4 turns of resilience and threshold removal, and then does a chain boundary at 2.0 maxing at 10 for 3 turns and makes it much easier to hit land perfects, as well as reducing all enemies' defense by 80%. So as you can see, like these two characters work exceptionally well together. And if you partner them up, you can get your chain boundary, you can get your conditional boost for 3 turns. You have a lot of utility removal with resilience, burn, threshold, damage reduction. However, for me, I think the Buggy's a little bit better. A chain boundary compared to a conditional boost is always going to be a little bit nicer. Mainly because you can always guarantee that chain boundary is getting off. The downside to Buggy is only 4 turns of threshold, 4 turns of resilience. I have had situations where I'm like, damn, man, I wish that was a 5-turn resilience, you know? But nevertheless, he's still a very, very good character. And I do really like his support, so make sure to max that out as well. Going all the way back down the bottom here, yes, there's a lot of rare recruits to the game, and that's why I'm starting where I'd already finished the tier list. We have the Lenaro and Ganru, and then Skull and someone. Basically, these guys are Spade Pirates. They came out alongside Ace for the ASL anniversary batch, and they're interesting characters. The quick one, the Lenaro and Ganru remove paralysis and threshold by 5 turns, and then if your captain is quick or psi, they double cruise attack for 3 turns. Where the Skull unit does color affinity for 3 turns if your captain is quick or psi, but then also does bind and defense up removal. They also make it easier to land perfects. The downside to these characters are if you don't have your captain being quick or psi, then you don't get that damage output, and they kind of just sit as utility-based units. That doesn't mean they're bad. It just means they're just good. Like they're just good rare recruits. Like all of these newer rare recruits, they're always gonna find their way probably at least into like just good. Because nowadays, like their multipliers are great. They can do really, really good stuff, provided you put them in the right conditions. And having like 2 different utility makes them quite nice. Look, honestly, I take it back. They're not bad. They're not bad. Like I don't really see myself ever using them over anything else. Rare recruits that have like damage buffs need to be over 2 times to be viable, in my opinion. That's why like the Zoro Sanji being 2.25 is great, or adding on to an attack or an orb boost. But if you're trying to be that for the team, it does hinder a lot of teams with damage, because let's say you want to like use an attack boost and you already have this live, you are going to struggle for output. So they're definitely not bad. But like I'd much rather run some other characters, to be honest. As for their sailor abilities, they're just good because they got really good sailor abilities. Yeah, they're just good. Further increases base attack boost by 250 if you tap with a Psi or a Tandem Orb with the Skull unit. So that's actually really, really good, adding 250 base stats. It's actually fantastic just by tapping. And then if you tap with the Lenaro, they increase the chain multiplier boost by 0.2. So that's that's again very, very good as well. There's other characters come to that better. This one here is the big one, the base stats. That's honestly, like, I want to put that in very good. I'm going to. I'm going to put them up in very good. I'm glad I caught that. I'm really glad I caught that at the end there. They have really good supports. They go on Ace as well, locking orbs, removing paralysis on special, stuff like that. So pretty interesting rare recruits for that ASL batch, to be honest, because no one really saw them coming. Next, we've got Koala and Hack, the units that came out alongside Sabo for that. They're pretty much the same bat. They're kind of like treasure map rare recruits, but they are available pretty much across the board on banners. The Koala removes bind and paralysis by 5 turns, changes the left side to tandem, removes damage null by 1 turn, and then doubles cerebral and fighter characters' attack and slot effects for 1 turn. Also, fantastic special that goes on Sabo and Hack. Can only use it on the new characters. That gives cerebral characters a 2 times attack boost. But this character is really good. Like, a very, very good character. They're actually amazing. Like, if you could limit break plus them, I would probably recommend it. I don't think they're god. I don't think Koala's godly, but she's a fantastic character. She boosts cerebral and fighters with her sailor ability, and she also makes Psi orbs have matching slot effects. She's a great sub. However, Hack is in contention to be like the best rare recruit of the year. Like, Hack is so good. And the reason Hack is so good is because he does, like, everything you need a character to do. He gives you 2 turns of cooldown to cerebral and fighters. He removes barriers by 2 turns, does 80 times damage to one enemy, removing defense up and threshold by 5 turns, changes the right hand column to tandem, and reduces damage by 90%. Like, this guy does everything. Like, he does everything you need him to do, which is, like, feral in a good way. Absolutely feral. Like, disgustingly feral. So, very, very good rare recruit. If you pick up Hack, I actually picked him up on my free multi on my baby account, which I was chuffed about. So if you guys pick him up, you are going to be super happy there. Moving all the way back down the bottom, we're getting into the crux of the newer characters. We have Zoro and we have X-Drey. Now, these rare recruits are actually pretty nice. The Zoro is a conditional boost that he can proc himself, setting defense to 0 and removing defense up and threshold by 5 turns. If you have a conditional boost when you launch Zoro special, he adds 0.25 to that. Otherwise, he doubles the damage to defense down. And if you have 5 drivens, he adds a minus 10% resistance to driven to all enemies for 1 turn. Resistance is one of the best buffs in the entire game, or debuffs, I guess. It's basically something the enemy can't avoid. I'm going to say he's just amazing because, you know what? No, I lied. I'm going to put him up here in amazing. Being a self-rocking conditional boost is one thing, but adding onto a condition you already have is another. And if you chuck him on a driven team with 4 other driven characters, you can do some really, really cool stuff with that resistance. So he's a fantastic unit. And if you pick him up and you put him on a driven team, he's going to do bits for you, as well as removing threshold and defense up if there is full immunity to the defense down. As for Drake, he does int and psi characters special charge time by 1 turn, reduces attack down and decreased chain multiplier by 5 turns, cuts the own HP of the crew by 80% and then deals 30 times that back in the enemy, as well as boosting int and psi characters attack by 2.25. So a really nice attack boost. Can get around stun with his ability. He gives cooldowns, which is always fun. So really, really cool stuff. But he's kind of just, like, very good. Like, no, I'd put him in amazing. He's just amazing. He's just on the cusp of amazing. Cooldowns and attack down removal kind of saves this guy, as well as being an attack boost over 2 times for psi and int. Like, very, very good stuff. Like, very, very good stuff. I'm a big fan of X-Drey. I have used him. But definitely not in the echelons of, like, this amazing and these godly characters. So we're going to stick him there in, like, he's just amazing. Moving all the way back down again, we have 3 of the new rare recruits being Ulti, Black Maria, and Page 1. Now, we're going to start on Black Maria, Ulti, and Page 1 because they're an interesting little tidbit. It's funny that, like, the Black Maria got so much love, and then these 2 rare recruits got absolutely shafted. Ulti gives 1 turn of cooldown, reduces special bind by 5 turns. Crew has an attack boost at the same time the special is launched, increases the attack by 0.2, but then doubles int-driven characters' attack and slot effects by 1 turn otherwise. So, not bad on paper, right? Like seems pretty cool. Seems pretty nice. But adds 0.2 instead of 0.25. Don't know why they went backwards there. As for Page 1, Page 1 reduces cooldowns by 1 turn as well, and then removes bind. If the crew has a chain lock status when the special is launched, extends the duration of the chain lock by 1 turn, and further increases the chain lock by 0.3. Otherwise, he sets the chain multiplier to 3.25 for 2 turns. As you guys know, chain locks are dookie. They've dropped off the planet, but adding to one definitely is good. Like, it's not bad. It's not bad at all, especially because he came out with Jack, who gives a chain multiplicative buff, where ulti, adding to an attack boost is great. 0.2, again, why 0.3 with page 1, and then 0.2 with ulti, but being able to give an attack and an orb boost is quite nice. Then, when we move over to Black Maria, we have an absolute novel. Applies poison, delay, ignite, and paralysis to all enemies, which is a 30 times poison, 30% chance to paralysis. Changes crew's type and block orbs to matching. To spam paralysis removal by 5 turns. Boost normal attacks of int and driven characters by 1.75. And boost the base attack by 800. Like, this character does so much. Like, why is she doing so much? Like, compared to the other two, this unit has got, like, double the text, which is crazy. So for me, I'm going to stick her up here in Just Amazing. I think her stuff is quite low. Actually, I kind of want to... Yeah, I'm going to put her up here in Amazing. Just block orb manipulation, which always is very, very handy. Despair paralysis, very common combination. Plus, you can get a lot of damage output literally just with her special, being 800 base stats and color affinity for instant driven characters as well. So, very, very nice rare recruit, and super intriguing that they just went absolutely crazy with her and didn't go too insane with the other two. The other two definitely aren't bad. They're just like, compared to what they did with Black Maria, it's kind of like, well, hang on, why did you hold back so much? Moving on to the last 3, and these are the 3 rare recruits that are going to come out with the anniversary batch. And honestly, I haven't even read what they do, so this is going to be a little bit of fun for all of us. But preemptively, I'm going to chuck them... Oh, sorry if I just broke your eyeballs there. I'm going to chuck them all the way up here in Godly, mainly because whenever we have an anniversary or a New Year's rare recruit batch, they are always very, very good. Now, there was the exception of, obviously, Film Red, but, like... And this is looking like a Film Red celebration, I guess. But, look, we'll have to wait and see. Nami is a Strength Striker Cerebral character, and she is going to remove Burn and Special Bind by 6 turns, changes character slot into Wano. Wow, okay. If you have a base attack boost when the special is launched, increase the base attack by 300. Otherwise, she boosts Strength Dex Quick Base attack by 1000. Giving yourself a Wano Orb is great, and 6 turns of Special Bind is actually fantastic. She removes 6 turns of Special Bind from herself, and she boosts the top row character's attack by 125. Slot Bind and Recovery Bind. She also has a really good support that goes on Usopp and Chopper to reduce one turn of cooldown and 2 turns of Special Bind at the final battle. That's crazy. Actually crazy. So, very, very good. Not as insane as I thought she was going to be. But look, she is a fantastic ass character, like a fantastic ass character. Next we've got Robin. Robin is reducing all damage reduction by 6 turns, decrease chain multiply gross rate by 6 turns, locks all slots for 1 turn, and then boosts strength dex quick attack character's attack by 2.25 for 1 turn. Pretty nice stuff. Sailor makes crew psi orbs have matching slot effects, and then makes crew's ints. So she makes int and psi orbs matching. Like that's crazy. She has hunger as well, and fear. Yo, that's nuts. On Sanji Brooks, she makes crew psi and int slots have matching slot effects, and reduces character's special charge by 1 turn at the final battle. Fantastic supports, by the way. Really, really, really good stuff. The supports and the sailors is honestly making these characters like definitely sitting godly. I'm hesitant to bring them out, but I am looking at some characters now that we're like, I'm sort of digesting all of this, and I definitely want to make some changes. As for Usopp, he is a quick free spirit shooter. He reduces all enemies' HP by 10%, 6 turns of attack down, and if the enemy is immune to delay or status effects, applies minus 20% resistance for strength, dex, and quick. Otherwise, he delays all enemies for 1 turn and doubles damage dealt to delay. That is a really, really, really powerful special. I think Usopp's probably the strongest of the batch. He has the ability to remove sound effects by 5 turns and sets character's slot to Wano at the start of the quest. Damn, that's crazy. He starts with a Wano Orb? That's kind of nutso. His support goes on Nami or Zoro, boosts damage dealt to delayed enemies by 1.5, and reduces character's special charge by 1 turn at the start of the final battle. Very, very good stuff. So, Very, very powerful new rare recruits, and rare recruits kind of make your team just as much as legends can. So as for sailors, rare recruits definitely should not be undersold because they are very, very powerful. Looking at this tier list though, I am going to bring Viola down to amazing. Definitely Limit Break plus her for Grand Voyage. But nowadays, it can be done without her. So it's definitely a character that I do want to bring down. As for this, I really want to bring the buggies down, but they're still so good as well. I'm going to bring this buggy down. I'm going to bring both of them down. I think both of them deserve to come down. Besides, like, Dofi 2 and, like, Grand Voyage, like, I don't ever use these buggies ever. Like, and I haven't really thought of a place to use them. They are still very good with Special Bind removal and Defense Up removal. Then Paralysis and Special Bind as well. This one has Fear, which is also very, very good. So, some fantastic characters there. As for characters in this particular tier, we could probably make some changes, but if I go through all of this, you guys are going to be seeing that forever. So hopefully this just gives you a rough idea of what characters you see when you are doing your summons and which characters you do want to keep. So I'm going to quickly scroll down while I do this little outro and let me know your thoughts and opinions of the characters that you guys see. Feel free to pause the video at any time, and I really hope this one helped you out. If you guys have any ideas to make these tier lists, or this rare recruit tier list better in any way, please let me know in the comment section below, because I am more than okay to open ideas on how to make this particular tier list a lot better, because there's a lot of characters to talk about, and if I did go through them all, we would be here forever. We've already been here for half an hour, and I've literally only spoke about like 10 to 12, so I hope you guys enjoyed the video anyway. If you did, make sure to go down there, belt the like button for me, hit the subscribe button, do all that good stuff. Hopefully this tier list helped you guys out with stuff like box cleaning and Rayleigh's Bazaar and what characters you do want to keep and what characters are very, very good. But most importantly, wherever you guys are in this beautiful world, please remember to enjoy the rest of your day. As always, homies, thank you for watching, and I will catch you all in the next one.